Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night. Is it truth or just a trick of sight?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to a new Things Paranormal Talks with me and myself and Chris. Because Mary sailed off back to Scotland, I think. She's a bit late. But she will join in later. So first off, hi Chris.
Hi mate, how are you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks for the invite. Good to talk to you.
Of course. I was meaning to do that, but something came in between. And I was like, no, I still haven't asked Chris, so I have to ask Chris. So it happened the way it happened. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like I do with every guest we have, could you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yes, well, I still go out ghost hunting, and I formed a team in 2011. And yeah, still get out trying to find evidence and trying to keep it realistic to myself, question everything as your little thing just said then. Obviously we know each other and we're on a similar wavelength, so if that's a shortcut to who I am, then I'm a ghost hunter like yourself. That's probably the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, you have your own team. How many times a month, a week do you investigate?
Once a month at the moment. As I've been saying, it's difficult to rally a number of people all together. So yeah, once a month we try and get out. Whether we don't get out, we just come here, talk about things, where to go, or we'll try a session here. No problem about doing Ouija board at home. I did that with the last house as an experiment of, can you make your house haunted? So yeah, a lot of experimentation, a lot of, well, you're not meant to do this, so let's do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Just like, I just want that interaction so badly,
Yeah, I can only agree, because I did an investigation with you guys, which was amazing. Still, I can remember that to this day. It was like yesterday. And the Ouija board is homemade.
Yes, yeah.
And I loved it. I still do.
Yeah.
But what made you go do paranormal investigations?
Well, such a young age, I thought I saw something when I was in bed, and basically, I can't remember whether that happened before my interest in ghosts, because I always flip around this story, whether the experience was first or whether the ghost books in the first school library, reached out to me and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I don't really remember, but they kind of both happened around the same time. I was obsessed with ghosts and I had an experience, which I didn't have another experience for, I don't know, let's say 4 or 5 years. But yeah, thought I saw something as a kid in my room, whipped the covers off me while I was in bed and told everyone I'd seen a ghost, and no one listened because I was so young. And so then was just wanting to tell that story to other people, and yeah, found books talking about all sorts of weird things beyond ghosts, Loch Ness monsters, aliens, spontaneous human combustion, and it was all just like, this is the best stuff ever. This is the things I shouldn't be seeing. Adults can't say whether it's real, but they're also not saying it's fake. And so once I was on that thread, I was always asking every birthday from being 7, I want horror ghosty books or Star Wars things. That was all I wanted, and it was much easier to get Star Wars stuff than the odd Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World book to go along with the TV programs. So yeah, just a strange kid like many of us are in this field. And eventually, yeah, thought I have to start a team. So that's how I got into it, really. I just grew up with it and loved it.
Yeah.
Really.
But for me, it wasn't easy to start a team. So where did you get all those people from?
Well, luckily, this is the days of Facebook. So I looked for local teams in my area, and then as I was commenting, I'd noticed the top commenters were also locals. So eventually I kind of stole them. You know, I was like, messaged them and saying, hey, I know you follow this group. I'm starting a team. Do you want to be on a team with me? So you're not just watching from the sidelines. And they were like, yeah, we'll meet up and chat. So we met up and chat and was like, okay, next week, now we're not strangers, we'll meet at my work and try something. So yeah, it was that expands then. People who come and follow you, small group, they end up adding. It's always people you know, or I always go for the people who are most invested, you know, the
Yeah.
biggest followers. I'm like, do
Mm.
you join? Need more hands, and generally speaking, they're up for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much 16 years now of investigating, and it is that solid core, or people just one step out of it, and then they know one step. You know, you just that middle framework.
Now I know you do some abandoned places, but do you also do residential investigations?
I mean, we do. I haven't had a case for, you know, I don't know, 5 years maybe, something like that. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm always here, you know, to do stuff. But you just have hot and cold spells, don't you? Some years you'll get 3 people. It's whether you bother with social media, and I don't really bother with social media much anymore. You
No.
know, because I'd find that we'd do an investigation of somebody and think, well, we've sorted it for you. And then the week after, they'd be asking another group to come for free. It's like they wanted to be center of attention or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up obviously thinking, oh, you know what? I just want to. People will find me if the word of mouth was good enough. You know,
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris is good. You know, come over here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you remember the first building you've ever investigated with your team?
Oh, you twist. Yeah, must have been my workplace when I invited him to my work. Not the one I'm in now. 3 workplaces ago, we worked in well, it used to be a leather tannery where they'd, you know, whatever they do with it, cure it, color it, send it out as saddles or whatever. I don't know, leather items. But then when I worked there, it was a printers. So a lot of machines, but a big empty space for you to move about, place your meters around, and good for noises being far away from you, but in that building. Yeah, that was all just experimenting with, right, this Ouija board, let's get hands on and see if it's us, because that was our first thing. I'm like, it's us apparently. Everyone's like, yeah, it's the idiomotor effect. Okay, fine, that's good. So I was kind of showing the others really it's idiomotor effect apparently, but then being like, well, no, how this doesn't seem to be, you know, just questioning it. And okay, that's what our fingers on the glass. What about if we put our nails on the glass? Does it still move? Oh wow, it does. So how my nail slips on it though, you know. Well, what about putting 2 wine glasses on each other? Because then is it like one big wine glass? If I put my finger on the top wine glass, can it move as a pair, or can it move the bottom one without the top? Can I say to the spirit, move the bottom glass and not this one? You know, forever trying, pushing, making it harder and harder for the spirits to do it. But the harder it is for the spirits to do it, the more compelling the evidence would be for me. Obviously, there's nothing harder than saying, we're not going to touch the glass. Can you please move it? Never did.
No. I think that has something to do with energy.
Yeah. I was
'Cause you
trying to
have to
find out exactly
put
what the
energy in there.
dials were, you know,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
find out the evidence like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Niels. Yeah, of course, like I said, we did an investigation together at the Old Bus Museum,
Yes.
which was very cool to do. And I would do it in a jiffy if I have the chance to do it again. But your favorite building to do a paranormal investigation?
Yes. I'm a bit of a stuck record on this one. It's a place in York, old-fashioned York. It's an Airbnb in a place called the Shambles, which is original York, so old that the buildings are subsiding. One side of the road goes that way, the other goes that way. It's been rebranded as like Diagon Alley out of Harry Potter because it looks so out of this world. But you can rent some of these upper floor places as B&Bs, and some doors go that way, and then further down the corridor they go that way. feels like you're walking on a ship, you're sailing when you walk down the corridor. And so it's just a cool place anyway. But that's where we had the best activity out of the 16 years. Not to knock all these other experiences I've had, but obviously people ask you what's the best evidence you had. All roads lead to this one place in York. Yeah, but it's not to say that I've not had many other stories. It's just that is the pinnacle, you know.
Yeah. The craziest experience you've had?
I'm going to say, there's two. One physical one and one auditory one. So one's footsteps when only I'm there, and one's a table so huge that we couldn't all push it with ease, and yet it was skidding around with our fingers on it, and I got it on, a bit on video. Just that night, the table tipping was out of this world, and I was like, okay, let's fake it, and we couldn't fake it. The table was too heavy. It was like a 12-seater, massive oak, I suppose, not meant to be moved. And it was just like, it might as well have been on an ice rink. And then when I'm like, hang on, spirit, stop. Can we just try? Everyone's like, "Argh!" And your fingers are sliding across it because it's too heavy. And I was like, that defies physics. What I'm seeing isn't possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the first time that I saw physics defied. And it sticks with you, doesn't it?
It does, definitely.
So that's what you go for. You're like, am I going to witness a miracle? I always call them, and they're so few and far between. But that was one evening where the energy was just, at least for, I don't know, let's say half an hour, because it soon diminishes. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't last. It's not like come on, juggle now, dance monkey. It's like, oh no, I'm exhausted. Oh God, thank God we got some of it on video.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you? What's your best evidence?
I think still a little girl's voice on the graveyard, on the children's section. We were doing an investigation. It's in Dutch, so I have to translate it. But
Yeah.
we were doing an investigation. I was like, let's play with the kids, because we knew there was kids there, because we got giggly, we had fun. So I was like, you know what? Let's play hide and seek, which is very hard to do because I don't see you, but I'll try it anyways. And the voice of the little girl asked me, "Who are you?" And it was a Class A. It was clear as day.
Are you saying you heard it, or is that EVP?
No, it was EVP. I didn't hear anything
Awesome.
at the time.
That is good.
But that was amazing.
Yeah.
And one time there was, and it's a physical one. I was doing an investigation at my local forest, and I was busy setting things up. I wasn't even started. I was just busy getting the camera ready and everything. I was standing with my back against the pond, and tall grass like this high.
Yeah.
So you would have heard somebody
walking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something sprinted at me in my back.
Wow.
Hip height. So I thought it was a kid or something. I don't know. So I turned around halfway, mid-air. I jumped up. I landed with my ass on my suitcase, which hurts like shit. Had bruise for at least a week.
Yeah.
But it was nothing there. And it ran off towards the pond, jumped in. We heard the plunge.
Whoa.
We looked at the water because we raced towards it to see what was going in there.
Yeah.
Not even a wrinkle.
That's like the footsteps thing I had. It's almost like it's a replay. It's like it's sound replaying.
Yeah.
Because ghosts don't have a physicality, do they? They don't have feet or let's say you're jumping in a pond, they shouldn't have mass.
No, exactly.
But the sound does replay. When I heard the footsteps at work, early morning opening up, I'm like, I hear that noise. Okay, more. I hear all 10, 12 steps. But I'd heard 5, like a snippet, like it was that is so recognizable to me. And yet, there's no one there,
Yeah.
But it was like, maybe it's not a ghost. Maybe it's just a replay.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for energy,
No, exactly. Yeah, it could be like what everybody else says, residual energy.
Yeah.
Still hanging around.
I don't know the reason.
Time loop.
Yeah, It's
Also
something we
possible.
don't understand. That's all we can say, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
That's all we
definitely
can really
is.
say.
Definitely is. I have to say hello to Noreen. Thank you for joining us again. Has there ever been a moment that Chris will be like, "Goodbye, I'm out, I'm going home"?
I don't have feelings like, "Ooh, this place is creepy." I don't have those in my gut feelings. So when I get pulled into a place, "Chris, what do you feel when you're standing here?" Because I feel so and so. I go in and I'm like, "Nothing." But this one time when I was at a graveyard, not about 3 miles from where I used to live, actually, I realised I moved, so I was not 3 miles from here. Anyway, local graveyard, I will say. And I'd invited all my team here. We're going to do an investigation, and it was within like quarter of an hour that I really felt in danger. Like it doesn't feel right. I feel surrounded, and I feel like in my gut we need to flee. I was in flight mode, and I thought I just couldn't. If I was on my own, I'd have gone. But because I invited everyone here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll get the thing," and I'm like, I just don't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would have gone, but it was later on. I'm like, do you know what? I already didn't want to be here early. I didn't want to say, and they were like, that is not like you. Anyway, this is the night that I see something, and I think that's the only ever time I've seen something without it being a corner of the eye, without it being in the dark. It was
Yeah.
summer like now, so stood in the graveyard, albeit at night, but daylight, and I watched as what I would call like a Z, but not a Z as you'd write it, a Z tipped up like that, like a reared up horse, I thought of it as. But it was
Yeah.
mist. It was like, if you would say, oh, yeah, a bit of smoke, a bit of cloud, you looked everywhere else around, no low hanging mist. It stood out a mile, like a bit of cloud had gone for a walk at our height. On it, and I just chilled me to the bone. And I'm like, what the you know what I mean? Everyone turns and nobody else saw it. I watched it go from behind this tree. I'm not talking like a room length. We're talking house, driveway, all you could fit all that in. But it was halfway across that I turned, and I'm like, what the? And then it had gone. But everyone could see by my reaction. My God, his eyes are watering. What
Yeah.
you're terrified, aren't you? I'm like, that chilled me to the bone. And I've also should say I wanted to go. Do you know what I mean? I didn't.
Yeah.
It all sort of came out. But yeah, we were getting strange things coming through the Ouija board about. A friend of mine on the board saw visualized a totem pole and all this, and it was freaking her out. And this is after we'd done York. You see, we'd kind of gone for answers because we felt out of our depth. So I said, let's go to a local graveyard and ask any spirit to help us. We've met this spirit. It's beyond our usual level. How do we protect ourselves? What do we do? So we were in kind of I need help mode anyway. And then I feel this oppression and I see this thing. It was just that period of time was a huge gear shift from
Yeah.
the usual bit of what was that? I don't know. Nonsense on the board. Meet us, the usual thing that you get on every investigation to this house pursuing us, the spirit of the house coming to the graveyards where we were saying, found you. Don't ever come back to my house. We're like, what is this? This doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hi, but sorry, Yeah, it was just like out of my depth or what?
Yeah. So talking about protection, you do use protection before you start doing your investigations, right?
We did for many years. And then one time we said, let's do a year without protection and see what the difference is. I would say we would not notice any detrimental things like, oh, now we're getting scratched, we're getting pushed at home, we're being followed, none of that. But we did get in touch, allegedly, as all these accounts are. It seemed to us that through the Ouija board, we got in touch with guardian angels of one of our teammates who seemed to quantify through information that they knew her mother. So her mum's in spirit, and then there's this other guy who watches over our teammate because her mother is now back alive as a 6 or 7-year-old in America. You know, she's come back because we reincarnate, say the spirits.
Yeah.
So yeah, and apparently when this girl is dead and this spirit is obviously dead now, she'll stay in spirit and he'll come back to live another life, and they seem to take it in turns. How weird's that? But
That's weird, but interesting.
that's what came through the spirit board, you know. So
Yeah.
we're just like, okay, like we'll take it as fact because we don't have anything else, you know. Just so that is our truth as far as we know it, you know.
Yeah. Now I know for a fact because I watched a lot of videos of you. You did a lot of experimenting in your old house
Yes,
by using the Ouija board. You did that with your team, and you did it alone.
yes, I did. Yes.
What were the outcomes?
Well, the outcome seems to be that the spirits are always around anyway, and if you want to just if I want to set up a Ouija board now, chances are I'd get something. You know, whether it's in your house quickly or you wait and things travel towards you. So you just moth to a flame, I think, when you're not necessarily the Ouija board. I could just sit here and, you know, is there anyone there for long enough? I think something would come, but I wouldn't be able to detect it as well as I can with a Ouija board, you know. And I was really desperate when we did that, do it on my own. Team was busy. I was really in the mood for something. I did a live stream like, hey, let's just try it. Let's just knock this one out and be like, yeah, you can't do a Ouija board on your own. And it started to move, and I'm like seeing my hand move the glass, thinking, oh no, that's the last thing I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm evidently pushing it in some way without knowing.
Yeah.
And the spirits are telling us that they do use our energy to make us push it. And so we are doing it physically wise, but they're aiding it.
They're the one pointing
you. Because we've done blindfold Ouija boards, and if everyone's Ouija blindfolded, then it can't spell. It said specifically, we see through your eyes.
Yeah.
And it seems like, which is, again, really the last thing I wanted it to be, because to me, if you can prove that you're pushing it, then you're done. But it seems not. They put like that. Well, no, I'm telling you, that's how it works. Because to try and disprove ourselves, we put packs of cards on top of the wine glass, so that if the top card moves, it's us pushing it. Bottom card moves, it's the glass moving without us. And it's always us. But then the spirit's like, yeah, because we do move it. And I'm like, oh, I thought I'd been like, yeah, disproved it. Cool. we make it up, you know. And then, from there, just the evidence. Some nights, let's say 1 out of 10 times, that's probably not even, it's probably 1 out of 20 times, you'll have a night where it's really clear communication and they can tell you things either about the team or about things you don't know that prove there's an intelligence there. So that's beyond us pushing it. It's like it doesn't matter if we're getting information through the board. If I'm getting information about you, right, and what you have in your pockets now, it doesn't matter that I'm pushing it, does it?
No.
It's like the spirit's making us put right, but you're fine. How does he know what's in my pockets? Well,
exactly.
the spirits are telling us what's in your, you know, it's not my, I'm the in between.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. That's what?
You're the channel.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So it's more, I'm beyond who's moving it, whether it's the ideomotor effect. I'm like, that's amazing. What can we do with that? Why isn't it always like that?
Yeah.
You know, what else can be asked? Because some year we had premonition for the year Kanye West is going to kill himself, and he had this crazy year. Did Kanye West, and we were like, he's going to kill himself, and we knew about this, and as it turns out, he hasn't. So then you're like, oh, that's annoying. You know what I mean?
Already. I know I'm right.
Because it's like it also said some people were going to die in space. And at the time they were stuck in space and couldn't get back, and they got back. Yeah. So it's like, in a way, can you trust Ouija boards? Probably not. But when they're telling you that one of you's got a cancer scare and it's right, or they're telling you that someone's going to break up and they do, you're going to break up, you're going to move house, this is going to happen to you, and they all come true. It's like, well, we didn't know.
No.
You know, we and obviously we've trained each other to say something happened. I'm not going to say what, but remind me to ask a spirit when we get a good one. And then when we get a good one, it's like, didn't somebody else say it? Oh yeah. I want to say, did you, spirit, or did our spirit do something to me in my house? And it'll say, I poked you in the neck, and that person goes, yes. And
Yeah.
really? And you take your finger off. Which room did you poke her in the neck in? The kitchen. We'll look to that person. She goes, yes. I'm like, right, thank you. That's great. You know, that's not
that's good
guessing.
evidence.
Is it a ghost? It doesn't have to be a ghost. It could be we're all tapping into the same idea, telepathic, you know, telepathic is the word I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
It doesn't prove ghosts, does it? It just proves that there's something magical there that can get correct answers, and not in 2 attempts, first time.
No.
You know, so
yeah. All right, I do have my co-host in the back, so I'm gonna bring her in. She probably went back from the boat to the Netherlands back again. So there we are. Hello.
Hello.
Did you float over?
No. I take a rowboat. Just joking.
We did talk a lot already, so we did half an hour.
I had my YouTube on, so.
Oh, you're amazing. So you did follow. That's good. That's good.
Of course, I followed, even in the car. No problem at all. So you just explained your vision on the Ouija board. What's your vision on the dowsing rods and using them in paranormal investigations?
Personally, I'm always immediately rolling my eyes, saying no. But, you know, if someone can show me good evidence with it, I just think they're too unreliable. I mean, that is any subtlety. I would be impressed if there was a way that you can not hold them. You put them in some device what holds them and say, spirit, move, cross them. Yeah. You know, if no one's touching it, and it's like, yeah, no, then fine. But touching them, I mean, the evidence is so muddy that I personally don't see any worth in it at all. Much the same as human pendulum. If you're both aware what that is, where you stand in the middle. I think that is so... It's just not worth even doing. You know, because everyone... When you close your eyes and stand in a dark room being watched, you do swear. And when you won't only swaying a little, and the people are like, don't hold it in, you know, allow it to move. You mean you want me to move? That's all you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying
exactly.
you're not putting on a good show. Make sure you just let it go. Don't hold it. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's just not good information for me. So those are 2 things that I personally throw out, unless someone's got a great story. I'm all ears. You know, I'm not 90. I'm not 100%. I'm just like, to my knowledge, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard before that people didn't like the dowsing rods unless they have some kind of device where you can put them in and it starts doing it on their own. So yeah, you're not the first to say that, and I actually agree, because it's very easy to manipulate dowsing rods.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
I mean, you've got to be absolutely the fraction of a millimeter out, and it will move, won't it?
Yeah.
Especially the way it's set up, a rod in a slippy device. It's just almost, it's like balancing a dish on your finger. If you're any way out, it's not going to do it, is it?
No.
That balancing point. It's just like, well, why start with something so easy to move? Give it a hurdle. Make it hard to move. You don't make it easy to move. Yeah. And then when it crosses you, you know, if this, let's say there's a ley line, which I don't believe exists. Let's say there's a ley line and you have something that's really hard to move. Move that table device over a ley line, and even on like blue tack, some tacky thing it crosses. That's it's hard to do, but imagine no one can deny it. So, but you're having something that moves around all the time really easy, then everyone's going to be like, well, yeah, of course. You make it difficult, don't you? You set your parameters of the experiment to be, there you go. Isn't that impressive? It's not impressive. Sorry, Mary, were you saying that you believe in them? If you're going to say you use them.
I try to debunk everything. So next time we were trying to put them in tripods.
Yes.
And see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Just one or two?
No, two.
Yeah.
One is easy. I want to challenge the spirit.
Yeah. And have you had good evidence, or?
I haven't tried it yet, but
right.
I'm the debunking kind of person as well. Like all the apps.
Yeah, you have to try them. Even we did it investigations for so long that eventually I was like, I can't just say apps are rubbish. I have to actually use an app, and find out for myself.
Yeah.
And that was trickier than I thought, because we seem to have some good evidence on the app. But if we're asking for spirits to influence a thing that lights up, the app is just something else that lights up. So maybe if it's electrical, the spirit can. Why not? Even if that's a stupid thing that I invented with 10 words on it, if a spirit can go into a electric device, there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to pick one of those 10 words, even though that's nonsense. If the spirit's, so we were doing a Ouija board and it started to spell Jen, and then my device went Jennifer. And I'm like, whoa, and continue spelling Jennifer. And I'm like, well, come on, that's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that night, particularly in a cemetery, there were 2 or 3 things where the app, as daft as it might be, correlated with us being daft on a Ouija board. So it was like, well, that's coincidental or good evidence.
Yeah.
However, I thought that was the first night I was really using them. So I kept using them, but there was never anything really as interesting again. Because I don't like to be, says a word and I interpret it. Cow. Oh, you're saying it used to be a field here? Is that what you're saying? You're saying there used to be animals kept here? I like to be like, say cow. No, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if there's a spirit there that can pick cow, I want it on my terms. Pick a number now. So that goes for the spirit box. Anything. I want to be in control. Say my name, and then I'll listen. If you're doing another loads of words that aren't my name, that you're saying words. Do you know what I mean? Again, why do you make it so hard, Chris? Why do you put all these hurdles? Because when it beats the hurdles, I could be like, wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with the apps nowadays, especially with the TikTok investigators. And I call them TikTok because that's the hit now. They use apps blindly and interpret everything they say. And I'm like, why don't you just start your investigation, know a bit of the history of the land if you need to, then start using an app and see if you get answers of the questions you ask, and not all the words that it rattles out that you're like, what the hell are you doing? Stop using the damn app and start doing an investigation.
Yeah. I don't mind it when they back up another form, a second. Like you say, we have all this information and you're asking out, is so-and-so there? Or tell me about when this was a prison. If that then corresponds with you, good. But if it just says, what words are in these banks? Really, it's always scary stuff. I never hear them say, I'm happy. What a wonderful day I'm having. And I'd be putting equal amount good and bad. Why don't they have the entire dictionary in? It's not that hard memory-wise to put in every word, rather than, this has got 5,000 words. Yeah, but they're all devil. They're all, I died. Ridiculous, really.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
But yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't wanna, I've got my opinions, and if you have
No.
if you have a
No.
counter opinion, please debate me.
If we have, we would probably say so. But
Yeah,
I agree fully on the apps. You can use them.
Yeah.
It's usable, but it's not. You should not put your focus on an app.
I think AI being in everyone's phone and tapping into Google and all the things you like, all the things you follow, even the paranormal, because everything is connected to Google. Those apps will be connected to Google. So it's obvious it's going to spit out paranormal words. So no, not on my watch.
yeah,
But I love to play with them.
sure, yeah. I mean, I
She says
always. Sorry, go on.
she says not on my watch. I use the apps just to tease her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
and we destroy them.
Yeah. Well, hey, tell you what they're good for, to fill a silence. If nothing's happening, you're glad of them because at least that spits out a word and you can think, oh, that could have been interesting. Yeah. But I always try them next to my TV. I'll be like, this new thing, a proper device or app, I'll set it running next to my TV when I'm not doing an investigation, when I'm kind of watching TV. And I think, I want to know what you do when you're not on duty. When then if it's like Devil, I'm like, yeah, if that had have happened in that circumstance, people might have been interested. So yeah, I like to see what does it in a mundane situation. Like I put my meters near a microwave or a kettle and flick the kettle on and see it go crazy. I'm like, okay, next time that goes crazy, I now know that it's the power of a kettle being turned on. That's pretty big. And I soon learned not to stand near my microwave when it's on because my meter's needles bend, shriek at the I'm like, whoa, that's dangerous. Can't be good for you. These people who live near cell towers or whatever, and they get hallucinations from being so close to that, you can see how it works.
Yeah.
But don't knock it till you've tried it. I'll try them. And I always hope for the best. I want the miraculous to happen with an app or anything. A dowsing rod. If I thought it was spinning round, then dowsing rods are cool. It's just I haven't had it happen to me yet. Yeah. Do you use SB7s, spirit boxes on radios when you go out?
Yeah, we try to use them. Mary has the SB11, which I think is more amazing than the SB7.
Yeah.
Because you can use 2 channels at once and you can cross wire them. So it doesn't usually make radio noises anymore.
Yeah, I think why does it have to scan radio stations? Because the problem, the negative of it is you get radio stations at some point, right?
Yep.
So if you can erase that, if it's got to be white noise, well, you stop, don't you? You don't scroll, you stop it and say, right, there's nothing there. Now speak. And it's not a radio station. So why isn't that how we use them? Why is the way we'll introduce this vagueness to it, this thing we can't trust? And when we get a voice on it, we won't stop and click back 3 or 4 spaces to find that radio station and go, that's the voice we heard, that DJ. Yeah. We'll just let it roll so that we can't capture it, and we'll all pontificate on that was definitely a woman's voice and a woman died here, so that's a ghost. Do you know what I mean? Why do we go towards the questionable version and not just don't have it scroll? Just pick white noise. That's another view of mine.
That's the best.
I understand it, but when you use a spirit box in a bunker, like Second World War bunker, you don't have any interference of radio nor cell phones, because cell phones don't have interference whatsoever.
Yes.
And we still get voices.
Good. That's good.
Oh, that's when I started believing in the SB7 as of the SB11.
Yeah.
Because the SB11 is I think better. Like I said, you can cross-wire the radio stations, so you will only get white noise, especially here in the Netherlands, because we have, I don't know what happens to the radio here, but it sucks.
Oh, so you've got more white
everywhere.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so
cool.
we use white noise and get voices anyways. So
Sure, I'm all
Yeah.
for that. That sounds good. Yeah, bunker is a good situation.
Oh,
Keep the
yeah.
aerial down, don't put it up to discount some radio waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it hard. Like I said, you make it hard, get evidence. It's better evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has it ever occurred when you did your live? I'm sorry, we have thunderstorms right now.
Oh, is that what that is? Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot of. It's very busy over here. I have a lot
oh.
of flashes. They're making pictures. Go away.
Yeah.
Has it ever occurred? Because you did a lot of live investigations in York, for instance. Has
Yeah.
it ever occurred that the audience saw things you didn't see?
Not in my experience. They usually see things that I go, no, that's a shape on a wall. Oh, I saw a figure stood behind you. They was telling me about this doorway. There was something stood in that doorway, and it was a painting over a bricked up doorway of black. So it wasn't a doorway, it was just black oblong where a door used to be. There was someone stood in that. Well, it wasn't because he's not there, And I see what you mean. I can see why you would see that in low light. Or there's mold on a wall, and there's something. What's mold? When you're in the room, it's more like, no, I know what you're seeing from your little screen in your certain angle, but really in the room, you see all the things what it's not, don't you? That's what investigations are, really. 90% seeing what could be mistaken for the paranormal.
Yeah.
People's mobiles being left on, flasher equipment, animals fluttering around like we were at the bus museum, noises up there, and you're like, because you're there, you're like, it's just birds, mate. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Sorry,
We were looking at each other that moment like, damn bird.
like what's that? But then just nothing,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but we had the debris falling down. We couldn't explain.
No, there are noises,
That was
aren't there?
weird.
There are
Yeah.
noises, and don't mean it's paranormal, sadly.
No, it was interesting though.
A good old slap round the head from an invisible hand. That's what we're after.
Oh,
not
yeah.
pigeons in the rafters,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
But other than seeing, did they hear things you didn't hear at that moment and did get on EVP, for instance?
I don't think so. I've never had someone have good. I go and check if someone says something, saw something, heard something. I'll check, and either won't hear it or it's nothing. But don't you think that some people, like people can be colorblind? Don't you think that some people can hear things that each of us can't hear? Like if this was an investigation now, Mary might say, "Did you not hear that?" And me and Shane will be like, "No," but Mary did hear something. And sometimes I get that on investigations with the team. 2 of them will say, "Yeah," 3 of us will say, "No, didn't hear a thing." And when I sometimes obviously record it, play it back, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, there was something clearly, and I just didn't hear it." But I think it's more than just you didn't hear it. I think we're all built slightly different frequency. Like when you get old male voices, old men start to detune from old women's voices, and old women start to detune, so they stop hearing each other on frequency. We played this scientific noise thing to my son, and there was a level where I couldn't hear it anymore, and he's like, "No, I still hear it." The capabilities of different age groups of hearing certain tones change. So you've got all that to contend with.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was investigating somewhere where someone had killed himself in the cellar. I put a dictaphone at the bottom of the stairs, went outside, and other teammates who were just sat waiting heard me walk from the cellar up onto the floor where we were, looking for me, and I didn't appear. Didn't realize I was outside. "Oh, Chris, it was amazing. We heard something walk every single step." 3 people all nodded and went, "Yes, we thought you were coming up the stairs." I'm eager to play it back. I play it back, I hear 1 step and nothing. And yet they all went, we all heard every single step ring out. My actual device, what just records noise, that's where the problem comes in. There seems to be a difference between a paranormal noise and a noise that we all agree on, the noise of a car. So, yeah, it seems like it goes sort of both ways. Sometimes an EVP is something that you don't hear with your ear, but you do hear on a recording. It's different, isn't it? It doesn't act with the normal rules of physics.
Yeah.
So audio is a great thing to prove paranormal, but also damn hard to actually catch, and you have it recorded. And sometimes you've got to be there to be the people who hear all 12 footsteps. That recording only captured one. So it's like, well, that's not much of a story. I can play you it back one footstep, but then you have to be there to go, I heard 12 footsteps, Yeah, it's just hard work, isn't it?
It is.
It's just tough.
It is. I had a question. I lost it.
Yeah, sorry, I was chuntering on.
No. It's not your fault. That's me. That's my brain. My brain is like that. It's like you had the question. I lost it again.
But what's your sort of favourite bit of kit at the moment?
My favorite what?
Bit of equipment.
I still think my audio recorder
Mm.
because it records the good stuff. Because I haven't. Well, I'm lying if I say I didn't have anything on camera, but I don't know where the footage is. Because I had a shadow figure, blacking out my complete laser, and then
Excellent.
walk further, and then my laser went back again, and I'm like,
That's great.
and I saw that figure in the corner of my eye as well.
Yeah, that's really good.
But I have no idea where that footage is. I think a
Mhm.
friend of mine still has it, but I have to ask.
Yeah.
But that was cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't have anything on camera, so I have
No.
more EVP, which is more interesting to me than anything else.
Yeah. What about you, Mary?
First of all, my body,
Yes.
and yeah, I have to agree, voice recorder, but also a video, because I did capture and try to recreate, and I didn't manage to, not in 5 different times. We had a laser grid on, and it started giving more signs, and it started flashing in more signs, and I do have it somewhere on my old computer. It said, help me, help me, help me. So real SOS.
Yeah.
And I tried to recreate it with the same laser grid. Nothing happened. It stayed on just this one time.
Yeah.
I didn't change the batteries, so it wasn't caused by the batteries, because after that it worked perfectly just at one time.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's those very little, small, fleeting times. It's like 3 seconds of one evening, and that's what you remember forever, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a lot of nothing for those 3 seconds.
Well, that evening I will remember my whole life,
Yes.
because I went with a psychic medium, and he sees energies and he hears them. And I was doing everything with Rampart, laser grid, and we try to get the energy go from one person to another. And the laser grid was just signing, and he shouted out real hard. My heart rushed out of my body. I almost pissed my pants. And I shouted at him, what the hell happened? He said, someone touched me. Well, that was the end of the investigation.
Really.
It was.
Psychic. Yeah. Cool. That's
Yeah, I
good.
couldn't be serious after that.
Yeah. Excellent.
No, still don't know my question.
Not?
Fair
No.
enough.
Oh,
I do still.
yeah.
So do you do Ouija boards?
I tried everything, even
Yeah.
on my own. I used it because I don't want to touch the planchette.
Mm-hmm.
And on the planchette, I put a voice recorder, and I put all my gear around it: K2, EMF meter, ramparts, um, and I try to capture things even on my own, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Not even so. So
Mm-hmm.
I went a bit further, and I put down alcohol, knife, rope, and I asked Zozo what was the best way to kill myself. Well, even then he didn't come true. So I don't believe in the Ouija board.
Mm. Fair enough. Fair enough. A lot of people say, "Oh, did the Ouija board? It didn't work, or didn't move." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've had times like that. Somebody asked me today. I don't know whether we're talking about my videos on a TV program and talking about that team, or whether we're asking about my team. They said, "Why do you always get activity on your investigations?" I'm like, "We only show you the ones that have activity. Why would I show you loads of hours and hours of nothing?" Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah. We blame TV for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Was 45 minutes of activity, and people think, wow, that's exciting. I want to investigate. And if nothing happens, they think it's boring, or they think you're fake.
yeah,
They have the wrong idea about paranormal.
yeah. We don't get views, which is fine. My YouTube channel is basically to log it for us so that we can revisit it. You know, it's there for people to watch, but ultimately, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm proving it for myself, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you
Same here.
think that it's more likely to get spiritual evidence on your own investigating, one person wandering around a building, or do you think a team is more likely to get in evidence?
That's a good one. For one, I think it's very dangerous to do an investigation alone, but
Yeah.
and with
Yeah.
more ears you hear more eyes you see more.
Yeah.
But you
if
know, when
it
you do a
would-
lone vigil, you send someone off. There's three of you on sat around there, and then you send
Yeah.
one off on their own. Which do you think is going to get more activity?
I think the one on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it has something to do with there's only one energy going around instead of 4 or 5.
Right.
So they have to focus on one energetic space instead of they have to find the right one. Like this one is going to see me and that one can hear me.
Yeah.
So they have to pick a side. And I think
Yeah.
if there's only one at a hot spot, because you have to have the hot spot, I think you will get more evidence than with a group for one way or another.
There's certainly like no sound contamination when you're on your own, though, is there? But then also every noise you think it's a spirit because you're on your own and feeling vulnerable. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done a
Yeah.
I've done a couple of alone times, and I have to say you get on edge. But I'm not scared that easy, so it takes a little while for me to do that. But if somebody knocks on a door and I know there's nobody else there, I think I might get on edge a little bit more.
Yeah. And then you realize, why am I on my own?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why the hell am I so stupid to say I'll do it?
Yeah. Yeah. I invite these things and then this happens. Yeah.
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 Have you ever done it?
Yes. Yeah. It's my favorite part. I would do it more often. I'm trying to train up my team to run things like I do so that I can keep a video on them and then I can go off for half an hour and push myself to, right, one-on-one, if anything shies here, it's just me and you. And I want to get that, you know, that piece of evidence. Yeah, definitely. And also, when I get to that fear bit, it's a new experience. I'm not really afraid when I walk around. I've been investigating too long, perhaps. Any fear of the dark's gone. It's almost like I have friends in the dark. They're spirits that I'm like, hey, it's me. It's just you and me, you know, guys. We're all friends. I'm here in friendly, you know, ways. So I sort of think I'm safe, which is also unsafe because I think I'm safe. But nothing happens, you know? But it's cool. It's cool when I hear a knock and I'm like, ooh, here we go. There's something happening. Yeah, I find it exciting. I think, and it's all become a little bit routine. Doing a Ouija board means absolutely nothing to me. Whereas I'll say, do you want to come on a ghost investigation? Oh, God, no, you wouldn't catch me going anywhere near. And I sort of am jealous of their fear. Yeah. I wish I was scared. But I'm not. So yeah, going up on my own is like the next best thing of, oh, okay. Now I am a little bit on edge on my own.
Yeah.
I have the same. I'm still waiting for the one spot that will make me run away.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody on the team that ran off?
Yes. We went behind a cinema screen and it had a big glaring light, one that you switched on, it illuminated the whole of the back of the screen where they kept all sorts of stuff, junk room. And you could get to all the speakers and keep the screen going. And the guy said, look, so we've only got this one light. It was very bright, very large. And as we were all in this dark behind the screen, lit up, the light seemingly went out on its own, seemingly broke at that exact time, pitch black. And my teammate absolutely freaked. We were already claustrophobic with a door with one handle on one side and nothing on the other. It was wedged with a brick. If it got shut, it would have been locked in. And the circumstances of the back and beyond of a cinema where you were in the ex-theatre. It used to be a theatre there. And there was just like the empty rooms of a theatre behind a working cinema. And then the only light goes off. That was just too much for her. And yeah, she proper freaked out, like anxiety attack sort of thing. But the other day she was saying, I live for that. I want that again. It's been too long since I was fearful but excited, So yeah, I think you just grow accustomed to it's just the routine. It's your job. It's mundane, and you want that. Oh my God, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah. Live for the thrill.
Addictive. Yeah, it's addictive.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't take much. It takes a poke in the back of the head, and you're like, whoa! I just got pushed,
Yeah.
Or was it a muscle spasm? I don't think so. I do not have any muscle spasms outside of being on a ghost investigation. So when something taps me on the head, I'm like, I think I just got tapped on the head. Especially when I'm asking for it. Can you tap one of us on the head? And sometimes it's other people, and sometimes it's me. I'm like, or I go cold. And again, I'm not sensitive in that way. So when I start to feel it physically, I trust it. I'm like, I'm not daft. I'm always going, I don't want to say it's this, but I really think I'm being interfered with here. Yeah. That is exciting.
It is. It definitely is.
Absolutely. We are adrenaline junkies.
Oh yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Have you ever investigated somewhere outside of the UK?
No, I'm very close to home all the time. It's very rare. I have gone to investigations with other teams or like most haunted events where you go and meet the TV program people, investigate with them. Done things like that, but I've got other things going on. I don't give my life over to this. It's like I want to get home back to bed, So even things where it's supposedly an overnighter, I find myself driving home because I want to wake up and be able to do my other hobbies. Yeah, I don't sort of give my entire weekend to these things. So no, I haven't. Obviously, there's loads of places around the UK and abroad, but unless I was given, the opportunity by somebody else, I won't be making it for myself. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll just fly over there again.
Yeah, that was awesome when he came over. I do have to admit, I felt guilty when we had a good time. We had a good time, but I did think it was a bit of a letdown of investigation. I was like, yeah.
Next time we'll go to York.
Yeah, exactly. Next time.
If you're going to York, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the two of us will come over then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I have to admit that even though nothing really happened that night, it was still an amazing experience. I mean, it's a different set that how do we call that? A different setting.
Yes.
It's different than the Netherlands, and it was amazing to investigate with your team.
It was an interesting place, wasn't it? It's got all those old
Yeah, it
buses.
was.
It's like it's freaky. It's
Yeah.
creepy, you know? Yeah.
It is definitely.
But
And we did have some contact. We still don't know what, but we did have some contact.
yeah, it was fairly quiet, but it was still fun. So that's all that
Yeah.
counts.
It was exactly. So it wasn't a letdown at all for me.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I'm
Still,
curious.
we are investigators, and I know that one day you have a lot of evidence and activity, and there's another day that nothing really happens, and
Yeah.
that was
It
one of
goes.
those nights.
Yeah,
But it was fine.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Do you experiment with the settings within your team as well? If the evidence is slightly different, if all men go in or just women go in? Did you did those experiments as well?
We do find that if it's a child spirit, we have a member of the team who seems to, for whatever reason, get contact with them better. If it's if it seems to be a child, I'll say, Jill, will you start asking rather than me? Yeah, so we do have those things, but I'm the only guy in the team, so but we do find that some people want to talk to a guy, and some people, different people. We used to have it a lot where a spirit would say, "You look like my whatever family member or someone I was in love with," and they take a shine to them. So we get that favoritism quite a lot. But yeah, it's not something we generally build into a night of, right, we're going to try this. But it seems to, every time I put my finger on the glass, it doesn't work anymore. We have seen that as well. It's like the investigation is a soup. And when you've got different people coming in, it's a different ingredient in. And some of those ingredients just ruin the soup. And you're like, I wish you didn't come. You really, nothing's happening. I don't mean like when we were talking about you, Shane, but some people are like, I'm a medium. Okay, put your finger on the thing, and they will, dead. And they're like, every investigation I go on, it never happens when I put my finger on. I'm like, well, I'm glad you came. Yeah. You
couldn't tell me that earlier.
Yeah. Other people who are like, I'm glad when you come because it's always a good night. It's like you are a battery for them. So yeah, I think I'm just neutral. I'd be on the neutral on that scale. But yeah, there's certain people who I think I wish you could always come because it's better,
Yeah.
Oh, there's something
I usually scare them off.
You don't.
Yeah, I do.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. When Mary starts asking questions, we get answers. When I start asking questions, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, you get back.
Just
I don't know why you're talking to me. I'm not saying anything.
It happened just 2 times.
Yeah.
Victim.
It happens a lot with my own investigations as well. I don't know if it's because I'm a big guy or something. I don't know. But
yeah.
They don't seem to want to talk. I take girls back home. It sounds very, very wrong in all those places. But I have a little girl in my home.
Yes, that's right. So, you're a girl dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Strange. But it's still fun to investigate with you.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah. Have you ever taunted a spirit so badly that bad shit started happening?
Okay, it's not my thing to taunt, to provoke. I don't agree with it. But there was a night when we decided on a live stream, the two of us, to draw pentagrams in chalk on the floor. We opened up 3 Ouija boards. I was trying to prove to the live stream watchers all the things that were a myth. So I don't know if you remember, you might even not be aware of it, not being from England. This thing called Charlie, where you place 2 pencils on top of each other.
Absolutely.
So, right, you blow it and it twists, okay? So we showed that. And then Bloody Mary sort of saying it 3 times into a mirror. So we said things you shouldn't say into a mirror. We did all the things on one evening to prove that it's all stupid, And supposedly, that was the night we got 2 attachments. And my friend had bad luck in her life. It was like, something negative is with her. And we went to York for a second time, and the spirits in York were like, "Oh, you two, what you were doing that time, you've stupid. You know, you've got 2 attachments that we're going to have to get off you because I don't want them in my house." And this is like, "Oh yeah, we did do that, yeah." So yeah, we find out that the spirits are saying we have spirits attached to us, and they spent one of those nights fending them off, and then said, "I want you two to go and touch York Minster, which is a big religious building, and cleanse yourself and come back and apologize." So yeah, that's what we did. That was the last time we did anything reckless. They were sort of saying what you do when you're doing that is dangerous, and you don't have a clue that it's dangerous. So pack it in. This was when I'd say to spirits, if you're going to give me some evidence, slap me around the face or scratch me. And it was educating me, saying, that's disrespectful. You say you're a respectful, friendly person group, and you are until you say things like that. If I was sort of saying, if you came around my house for dinner and then said, "Yeah, you can scratch me," you'd be like, "What?" That's you don't go to be a guest and say, "Punch me in the face." That's disrespectful to the person you're asking. So it's saying, don't say things like that. It's stupid. Just come in and say, "Let's have a nice chat." You know what I mean? So yeah, I've stopped provoking in that way, or even saying it's okay to scratch me because I want the evidence. I just say, "I'm here for a nice chat. Meet me halfway. We've given up our time. You please come and communicate." Yeah. So I don't provoke. No, I don't think there's any need for it. Even when it seems to be a quite horrible person I'm talking to, I always think you're a victim of something to be like that. And a lot of the times when they're saying we're evil, they are, the spirit's evil, the spirit's Lucifer, Zozo, the devil, we've all had that. When they're saying that, we're like, "You're not. Will you just pack it, drop the act?" And when you pursue it enough rather than running home, eventually they're like, "Yeah, I'm not. I'm just a 16-year-old who died outside on a motorbike having a laugh. And thank you. Now can we talk properly?" You know, I just push through those scary moments. "We're going to kill you." That's the problem with a Ouija board. It can say anything. And if you lean into it, "Who are you going to kill?" then you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
So we sort of go, right, okay, we're not buying it. We will believe you if you can make something fly across the room. If you've got the strength to kill us, you've got the strength to first give us a big warning. And when nothing happens, as it always doesn't, I say, "Well, you haven't got the strength to do it. So can we just get past that threat? And if you don't want to talk, go. There's other spirits you want to talk to." So like that, that's the kind of conversation we have with negative spirits. They're just fools like what I'll be when I die. The first thing I'll do is go looking for any Ouija board sessions to mess around with. You know?
Yeah,
Here's your
like-minded.
evidence. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
One way
my-
or another, I can see it happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or running towards a voice recorder. "Hey, it's
Yeah.
me, Chris."
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have a list to do.
Yeah. All these people you don't like who are alive. So you're like, "All right,
Oh.
I'm haunting them. I'm hiding their keys every day."
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fun. And if you know they're afraid of the dark,
Yes.
messing with their lights.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when things like that happen, I'm like, well, yeah, that's fine. Doesn't mean it's a nasty person. It's just mean it's a playful thing. Or generally it's a family member saying, "I'm here," and it starts small, you don't notice. So I've gone bigger. You're not noticing. So I've moved your stuff. You're not noticing. So I've touched you. "Oh, something's trying to kill me." It's your grandma trying to say hi.
Yeah.
It's normally misread. So yeah.
Yeah. Usually is. Usually is.
Have you ever experienced smells? So
Yes. Perfume, obviously, is a big thing.
Perfume.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not as often as I thought it would be. Sometimes you get a whiff of smoke, and I know that's very. Oh, everyone gets that, but it's one of some smells are just really pungent, and we're really good at noticing them, aren't we? And sulfur, when you smell sulfur, you start to think, oh, yup, something's not good here. But we must smell all sorts of things that is a scent, but it just doesn't register because it's not strong enough, or, you know. So, I mean, there's always that staleness you smell in a cellar, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, there are certain smells that you just, ooh, this room feels odd. And yeah, because it's 100 years old. It's got that old house smell to it, you know. But yeah, when you get a perfumey smell
Yeah.
that doesn't last long, so it's not your teammates, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not, you think you get it all the time. You think that every spirit might have a scent or a clue like that, but I've never really given that much thought whether that is an energy that they need to expend to make you smell that. You know, they've got a choice of I can touch you, I can, you know, make a sound, or I can come as a smell. I don't know whether that is a form of them materializing, you know.
Interesting to look further into.
Yeah, and a good question to ask.
But of course, smells can, like a book, pages of a book. You open a book, you release a book smell, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like you can disturb things. You're kicking up dust when you're in an investigation, or you're opening cupboards to see what's inside, and you don't know if that foist travels. And by the time you sat down, you're whiffing it. You know, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's all hard, isn't it, to know for sure?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, but still interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good thing to look into.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are nearing the end of our show, but I still have a question. Because we do this a long time already, do you have some advice for beginners?
If I was beginning now, I think what I'd do is use my phone and myself. I think that's all you need, really. You've got your torch, you've got a voice recorder built in, you've got a camera. Okay, it's not night vision. I've never seen any ghosts on my night vision. And I've filmed us on Ouija boards. I've said, show yourself now, thinking I'll catch something. So I would be, after 16 years, happy to say night vision doesn't do anything. It's just a good way to see in low light. And you're usually acting in low light, but you don't have to. So yeah, you've got your phone. I'd sit there, record it on audio. You got notes to write down. Well, 8 a.m. You know, for 10 minutes I did this. Just log. I would log everything you do, and then every time you go back, because you forget, you just forget what happened 30 days ago when you were last here. So that knock or where it was, I think it's worth logging. That's what I'd do. Which I was very much logging in the first 10 years, I would say. And I'd do write-ups I'd listen to the dictaphone the day after and write down even all the Ouija board movements. I always say to my team, when it's spelling something, you say it out loud so that I can then hear it. I hear my question, I hear what it said. So yeah, just that really. Oh, I feel cold. What was happening when you felt cold? Where were you sat when you felt cold? Then you're like, okay, I've got it written down. Apparently I felt cold here. Right, if I go next week, find that spot, is it drafty? Is it, just like that? You don't need anything other than that. If a ghost was 100% real and we knew about them, they'd be on your camera or they'd move something in front of your camera. Right, I've seen something. You'd hear it in audio because it said, hi, I'm a spirit. You've wrote it down so you won't forget it, and you've felt it and witnessed it yourself. It's in your brain, something you'll never forget. So what else is there? You know what I mean? You don't need anything else, do you? And then there's your apps. If you can get a radio thing that actually does scan, you've got a spirit box to experiment with. I know they all have like fake K2s or fake meters, but when you look into the actual phone software, they don't have the capabilities to do what an actual sensor. They recognize magnetics and stuff, but not true electronics in like kettles and stuff. You don't put your phone to a kettle, it's like, oh yeah, there's a kettle. It's just recognizes magnetism and stuff. It's not good. But you've got all you need in those few things, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If anybody wants to follow you or your team, Where can they do that?
Facebook page, Whitehouse Investigations. That's where you can get in touch with me the quickest. But I'm just YouTube. Every month, if we investigate, I try and do a video. Sometimes do in between things. As I say, it's not my only hobby. It's something I always do, but it's not a career. I have life outside of it. So it's not like, oh yeah, I'm pushing for views. It's just that's where you'll find me in my personal quest. And outside of that, you could go to Amazon and buy the book about all the things Into the Darkness. So that's, a lot of my start to 10 years in, 12 years in, something like that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Need to remember to buy the book.
I have another one on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I throw a lot of books out, so now I have to buy new ones.
I need
Get a
to
good
buy
excuse.
a new closet.
For all
Oh
those
my
books you have, yes.
are full.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, mate.
Yeah, pleasure was all mine because it's been too long, so we have to talk more often.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Stupid life.
Yeah.
I hate it when life comes in between. But I had a blast, and I hope you did too. of course.
Absolutely. Yes, of course.
As always, guys, thank you so much for joining in, interacting with us, and we will end in the background and start a little bit of music to end our life. And we will be back next week. And I'm looking at Mary because I have no idea what we have next week. Oh, I do. It's the 1st of July, right?
It is the 1st of July.
It's our final. It's our final.
Yeah, it's our season final, indeed.
Yep.
And I'm only going to say we are going to talk about hypnosis, regression, past lives, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember who we have. I'm not going to say anything, so just keep watch. Keep watch.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you Wednesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.